Seniors, imagine waking up 6 months from now with a body that feels firmer, stronger, and more capable than it has in a decade, simply because you finally unlocked the biological door that was keeping your protein out of your muscles. Most people assume that losing muscle mass after 50 is an inevitable slide into frailty, or that the only solution is to double their intake of steak and eggs until they are uncomfortably full. But what if I told you that the reason you are losing muscle has nothing to do with how much protein you are eating, and everything to do with a tough, fibrous piece of fruit you likely throw in the garbage? The problem is not that you aren't eating enough protein. The problem is that a specific set of biological roadblocks in your digestion and cellular machinery are preventing that protein from actually reaching your muscles. You are eating the steak, the eggs, and the chicken, but your body is flushing the building blocks down the toilet because you are missing the chemical keys to unlock them. In this video, we are going to reveal the 4 specific protocols that override age-related muscle loss. Number 4 transforms a piece of kitchen waste into a potent medical tool for digestion. But number 1 is the absolute golden rule of protein timing that determines whether your body spends the day building muscle or destroying it. Before we begin, tell us in the comments what your typical breakfast looks like and if you struggle with strength. We read every single response to help tailor our future content to your needs. Now, let's get started and be ready, because number 4 changes everything. Number 4, the enzyme hack, the pineapple core. We begin with a solution that is hiding in your trash can right now. Most seniors diligently trim a fresh pineapple and throw away the tough, fibrous core in the center because they think it is inedible. But by doing so, you are discarding the highest natural concentration of a proteolytic enzyme that your aging stomach desperately needs. This enzyme is called bromelain. To understand why this matters, you must understand the silent epidemic called hypochlorhydria. As you age, the parietal cells in your stomach lining naturally atrophy and produce significantly less hydrochloric acid. When you were 20, your stomach acid was strong enough to liquefy a steak in composed hours. But after 50, that pH level rises, meaning your stomach environment becomes less acidic and far less efficient at breaking down dense animal fibers. You might chew your food well, but if the chemical breakdown in the stomach is incomplete, the protein passes into the small intestine in large, unusable chains rather than the single amino acids your blood needs to absorb. This is why you can eat 50 grams of protein but only absorb a fraction of it. The pineapple core acts as an exogenous digestive aid that works independently of your own stomach acid. Bromelain is a protease, which means its sole biological function is to sever the peptide bonds that hold protein structures together. Research conducted at Sri Ramachandra University highlighted the potent ability of bromelain to hydrolyze protein structures even in environments where natural enzymatic activity is compromised. When you consume a small slice of the raw core alongside your protein meal, you are essentially introducing a chemical pair of scissors into your stomach. This ensures that the expensive grass-fed beef or organic chicken you bought is actually broken down into the leucine, valine, and isoleucine that repair your tissues. The medical implication here is profound for seniors who feel heavy or bloated after a meat-heavy meal. That bloating is often a sign of undigested protein sitting in the gut and fermenting rather than being absorbed. To utilize this hack, simply slice the core into thin, manageable rounds or blend a small chunk into a smoothie. You do not need to eat the whole thing. Just 1 or 2 ounces of the core contains enough enzymatic activity to assist in the breakdown of a standard meal. This is how you maximize the bioavailability of the food you are already eating. However, maximizing absorption is only the first step if you are losing all your gains while you sleep. Before we continue, smash that like button and subscribe right now. Don't miss the life-changing tips still ahead. Number 3, the nighttime shield, cottage cheese. You have likely been told that eating before bed will make you fat, but for a senior trying to preserve muscle, going to bed on an empty stomach is a metabolic error. The biological reality is that your body enters a catabolic state during the 8 to 10 hours you are asleep. Catabolism means your body is breaking down its own tissues to fuel vital processes like heart function and respiration. When you are young, your body stores enough glycogen to handle this fast. But as you age, your metabolic flexibility decreases and your body turns to your muscle tissue as a source of amino acids much faster. You are effectively cannibalizing your own leg and arm muscles to survive the night. This is where cottage cheese becomes a medical tool rather than just a snack. Unlike milk or yogurt, which are high in whey protein, cottage cheese is dominantly casein protein. Casein has a unique chemical structure that causes it to curdle and clot when it hits the acid in your stomach. This sounds unappealing, but it is exactly what you want. Because it forms a gel-like bolus, it takes your body hours to digest it. It acts like an intravenous drip of amino acids that slowly releases nutrients into your bloodstream for 6 to 7 hours while you sleep. A landmark study published in the Journal of Nutrition by researchers at Maastricht University confirmed this mechanism specifically in older populations. They found that seniors who ingested 40 grams of casein protein 30 minutes before sleep showed significantly higher rates of muscle protein synthesis throughout the night compared to those who took a placebo. The researchers noted that this overnight window is often the missing link for seniors who eat well during the day but still suffer from sarcopenia. By consuming cottage cheese, you flip your body from a negative muscle balance to a positive one during the longest fasting period of your day. This does not mean eating a bowl of ice cream or sugary yogurt. Those foods spike insulin and disrupt growth hormone release. You must specifically choose low-fat or full-fat cottage cheese to get the casein benefit. You aim for about 1 cup, which provides approximately 28 grams of slow-digesting protein. If you are worried about the taste, you can add a sprinkle of cinnamon, which helps stabilize blood sugar, but avoid adding heavy sugars. This single habit acts as an insurance policy for your muscle mass. It ensures that you wake up with the same amount of muscle you went to sleep with, but protecting your muscle is useless if your cells are refusing to accept the new protein you feed them. Number 2. The cell opener, high EPA fish oil. This brings us to the most frustrating biological barrier seniors face, which is anabolic resistance. You can have a bloodstream full of amino acids from your pineapple-assisted digestion, and you can have perfect timing, but your muscle cells might still refuse to open the door. Anabolic resistance is essentially a condition where your muscle cells become deaf to the signals of insulin and leucine. In a younger body, eating protein triggers a rapid uptake of nutrients into the muscle. In a body over 60, that signal is blunted. The machinery is there, but the ignition switch is faulty. This is often caused by the hardening of the cell membrane, which is the outer shell of your cells. As you age, the lipid bilayer of your cells becomes more rigid, making it difficult for receptors to move and signal effectively. This is where high-quality fish oil becomes a muscle-building tool. We are not talking about the general heart health benefits you hear about on the news. We are talking about the specific capacity of omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA, to physically remodel your cell membranes. When you consume high doses of EPA, your body incorporates these flexible fatty acids into the walls of your muscle cells. This restores the fluid, permeable nature of the cell membrane. Research from the Washington University School of Medicine demonstrated this effect in a randomized controlled trial. They found that when older adults supplemented with omega-3 fatty acids for 8 weeks, their muscle protein synthesis rate increased significantly, even when their protein intake remained the same. The omega-3s effectively sensitized the muscle to the protein. It is like greasing a rusty lock so that the key can finally turn. The study showed that this intervention turned the anabolic response of 65-year-olds into something resembling that of 30-year-olds. However, you cannot achieve this with a standard cheap fish oil pill that is mostly filler. You need a concentrated dose of EPA to drive this cellular change. You should look for a liquid fish oil or a high-potency algal oil that delivers at least 2,000 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA per day. Liquid forms are often superior for seniors because they are easier to swallow and allow for higher dosing without taking 10 pills. By restoring cellular sensitivity, you ensure that every gram of protein you eat actually stimulates repair. But even with sensitive cells and good digestion, you will still fail if you do not anchor your day with the most critical meal of all. Number 1. The morning anchor, the 30-gram breakfast. This is the number one mistake that 90% of seniors make, and it is the primary driver of frailty in the modern world. It is the tea and toast breakfast habit. Most seniors eat a very small breakfast, a moderate lunch, and a large dinner. They believe that as long as they hit their total protein goal for the day, the timing does not matter. Science proves this is dangerously wrong. Muscle protein synthesis is not a dimmer switch that turns on a little bit when you eat a little protein. It is a light switch that is strictly all or nothing. To flip that switch to the on position, your body requires a specific threshold of an amino acid called leucine circulating in the blood all at once. For a young person, that threshold is low. But for a senior, biological resistance means you need approximately 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine to trigger the muscle-building machinery. You generally find this amount of leucine in 30 grams of high-quality complete protein. If you eat an egg and a piece of toast, you are getting maybe 8 or 10 grams of protein. This does not trigger muscle synthesis at all. Your body remains in a catabolic, muscle-wasting state from the night before, and it stays there until you finally eat enough protein at lunch or dinner. This means you are spending half your day destroying muscle and only a few hours building it. Research from the University of Texas Medical Branch quantified this distribution problem perfectly. They showed that even when total daily protein intake was identical, the group that distributed protein evenly, starting with a robust breakfast, had 25% higher muscle synthesis rates than the group that skewed their protein to the evening. You cannot make up for a missed morning opportunity by overeating at dinner. The body has a limit on how much protein it can use at one time, so the excess at dinner is simply burned for fuel or stored as fat. To fix this, you must anchor your day with 30 grams of protein within an hour of waking up. This could be a 3-egg omelet with a side of egg whites. It could be a cup of Greek yogurt mixed with a scoop of whey protein. It could be a portion of leftover salmon or chicken. The source matters less than the math. You must hit that 30-gram number to flip the switch. By doing this, you stop the breakdown that occurred overnight and immediately place your body into a state of growth and repair. You effectively double the amount of time your body spends building muscle every single day. This is not about dieting. It is about metabolic timing. When you combine this morning anchor with the cellular sensitization of omega-3s, the nighttime protection of casein, and the digestive assistance of bromelain, you create a complete biological ecosystem that supports strength. You do not have to accept that you are destined to become frail. The human body is an incredibly adaptive machine, and it will respond to the right inputs regardless of your birth year. These 4 protocols are not magic tricks. They are precision adjustments to your biochemistry. They address the root causes of why protein fails to work in the aging body. By fixing your stomach pH, protecting your sleep window, softening your cell membranes, and triggering the leucine threshold, you are giving your body permission to be strong again. Imagine having the leg strength to climb stairs without gripping the rail, or the arm strength to carry your own groceries without fatigue. That vitality is waiting for you on the other side of these habits. Start with the 30-gram breakfast tomorrow morning and see how your energy shifts. Then layer in the other strategies as you build your routine. Now, we want to hear from you. Which of these 4 changes surprised you the most? Are you ready to give up the tea and toast habit to reclaim your strength? Share your thoughts and your commitment in the comments below. We love to hear your journey. Thanks for watching.